Almost everything nowadays seems to be designed to attract your attention. Traffic signs, advertisement, public speeches, and even this video are meticulously made to keep you entertained for as long as it's physically possible. And already since the introduction of internet about 4 decades ago, we seem to get flooded with all sorts of stimuli on a daily basis. And there's still a vital catch. You have a pretty limited amount of time and resources that you can give to watching YouTube videos every day. And there is still a question in the air. What do we need that attention exactly for? And well, in order to answer this question, we first need to understand what attention even is. And the answer is pretty simple. It's basically about locking it on a certain task and letting your brain filter out the rest. And without going much into details, your brain assigns each and every stimuli a certain value, and the one with the highest priority is the one you're paying attention to. So it doesn't really matter whether this is a task you are currently working on or it is just a random distraction. Your brain treats them the same way but assigns different values. Like, it doesn't matter, you could be so locked in on a task, but if you get a notification from that one homie saying, "Are you free tonight?" you are not ignoring that message. That's why babies cry and shout when they need something. It is to signify to their parents and everyone in the vicinity. I'm referring to like parents who take their toddlers on vacations that they clearly wouldn't remember, but instead just annoy the fuck out of everybody else, that they need something and it's urgent. This is the evolutionary trait that we and many other animals developed to survive and thrive in this harsh place we call Earth. This goes much further, as we are living in a complex society that we unconsensually were spawned in. Like, in order to stay afloat and strive, we still need to fulfill our social and psychological needs. Otherwise, you feel left out and can develop certain maladaptive features that you for sure don't want to have. Do you? Being popular means to be successful in attracting the attention of others. It is like gesturing around each other in order to accomplish our own desires. What I would just describe is a pretty basic communication. It's something that you face on a daily basis and you don't even think about it a lot. And realistically, you shouldn't. Have you ever confronted someone when they screw up? You come up to them and you say, "Yo, Mike, I think you did this thing not good here." And instead of just saying sorry and just going on with their day, they hit you up with this thing. Anyways, before I start rambling, take a look at this video.
Me and my buddy catching his girlfriend coming to hang out with me and cheat on him.
So, you want to explain?
Do you want to explain why you like me?
So tell me, what is wrong with this clip? You have likely seen those clips on the internet, and although 90% of them are fake, that was a bit sad to find out because I actually believe those. But anyways, they seem to represent a common theme where the accused person will always try to shift the blame to the person who actually accused them. Like, what is it if not a definition of a professional victim? And I mean, if you try to pose yourself as a victim, you basically have two benefits. You dodge responsibility and you get attention. But if you do this, you're a chronicle loser, bro. I'm sorry. And I mean, getting attention isn't that bad. You sometimes flex, you show off, you humble brag, you talk more than you should, you overhype things. And it's alright. You don't have to be that performative, nonchalant, matcha latte guy. You can just relax and go with the flow, I guess. Not quite bad. Douyin, also known as Chinese version of TikTok, launched in 2016, has originated as a news platform. At first, it was like a mild competitor to Vine or Musical.ly, at least in the Western world, but when COVID hit in 2020, something has changed. It was no longer this platform where people just dance or move their lips to match the music. It became the ultimate place of low-effort, quick entertainment. But they don't host all those videos just for fun. There is a clear monetary incentive to put advertisements, e-commerce integrations, and data harvesting systems on the premises of their platform. By the way, it seems like they start to collect even more data since ByteDance was politely forced to sell most of their stocks to a few questionable US companies. Weird, isn't it? Also, staying on the topic of ads, as of early 2026, the global advertisement market is worth around $1 trillion, where 75% of it is digital media. And I mean, it's a whole lot of money if you ask me. I bet with that money you can fix world hunger if you wish to. It's about taking the fundamental human needs and emotions and transferring it into a mathematically calculated metrics. The only job of marketing department is to sell you stuff, but they cannot just tell you buy this because it's good. It's not how it works anymore. They need to make you develop certain feelings or emotions when looking at their product. Take a look at this image. There is no red here. Like, isn't this cool that your brain artificially colors the photo to make you see the kind of Coke the way it is in real life? Because you already have an experience connected with this certain product. You associate the color red with their identity. I mean, when you buy an Apple product, you don't buy it because it's a bang for its buck. You buy it because it makes you fit in with the group. It makes you feel a certain way. It looks so premium, so much so that you don't even throw away the packaging it comes in with. And the same principle applies to media. The algorithm predicts what you want to see based on what you engaged with previously and whatever data you so eagerly consented to giving away as a part of usage conditions. So the longer you consume and give relevant feedback, the more tailored the feed is going to be to your likings. As a result, your certain views and opinions, or lack of thereof, will inevitably be reinforced by automatically curated environment you were put in by whatever this thing is. That's why you're able to develop certain feelings or attachment to just some fucking pixels on a screen. It became so personalized to everyone and no one at the same time. Nowadays, scrolling media is straight up exhausting experience. It went from a place filled with techno geeks, niche communities, and non-profit driven amateurs to a bastion full of clickbait, advertisement, and low effort slob. And I'm not gonna act like I grew up in early 2000s and I witnessed the whole transition. Instead, I was raised right at the beginning of the Switch, being arguably the first iPad kid, having an absolute privilege of fast forwarding my entire childhood. It's fucking heartbreaking to realize that I can barely recall anything that happened under the age of 15. I'm not even in my 20s yet. I can't even imagine how bad the situation is right now with the new generation. Would they be able to recall a few things that happened in between their scrolling sessions, which apparently is on average for 6 to 8 hours? So, in the overwhelming digital space of World Wide Web, where everything is screaming and growing for your attention, there is no wonder why some people mentally check out and ditch their phones or whatever. Also, talking about them, have you ever heard the term digital minimalism? Are you feeling overwhelmed and tired after wasting hours of your life watching some bullshit you would forget as soon as you skip to the next one? And you feel shame and guilt for not doing things you should have done? But you know what? It's not your fault. Don't take it so hard on yourself. Because here are 4 easy to follow steps, following which you will stop scrolling forever. Number 1. Don't open up your phone 4 hours before going to bed, because blue light is bad for your eyes. Of course, I wouldn't provide any evidence supporting my claim, so just trust me. Number 2. Download these 5 essential apps and never use them again. I use these 17 essential accessories to... what do I use them for? To keep me away from countless distractions and promote productivity and minimalism within my workflow. Number 4. Get a life, bro. Go touch some grass. Those videos are absolute sponsorship gold mines, in which, alongside with generally basic ideas, they're also a hit with a few hidden ads for stuff you don't even necessarily need. I'm also referring to like videos where people share their digital minimalist setup, where they try to substitute their phone with whatever digital analog there is. Like, I'm not pulling out my digital camera to take a picture of the slide on the presentation during my lecture. Just use your damn phone. And I want to make it clear that I don't want to shame creators for taking sponsorships and solving the problems that might not even necessarily be there. I just see this as another over-consumeristic trend. Like, damn, I still want the iPod Nano. I know I don't need it. I just want it. It looks so good, I swear. First and foremost, the movement of digital minimalism is about mindful usage of technology and less about eliminating it or substituting it with whatever sponsored analog is presented. It's really hard to shift from a behavior you've been committed for years, because it's easy to blame the tool and not its master. Maybe some of those advice actually work and facilitate that behavior change I'm yapping about. It is like giving a long-term cigarette smoker a vape. It might make them quit the cigs, but it could equally make them addicted to the vaping as well. It reduces harm, but keeps the addiction. Well, to sum this video up, the attention is the ultimate currency we use in order to receive or exchange information, show respect or affection, or even define your own place in this society. On the level of companies and institutions, it is a resource that is used to show ads and propagate certain ideas across every somewhat monetizable touchpoint. That's where the movement of digital minimalism comes in hand, offering solutions for the problems that might have not even be there if you aren't mindful of implementing them the way that fits your needs. And that's all I have for this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. You know, it's the first video on my channel, the first I ever did. Leave a feedback if, you know, some parts were redundant or weird. And, you know, I would highly appreciate if you liked it and, you know, subscribe it or whatever. And I appreciate your support a lot. Anyways, see you on the next one. Peace out.